Good morning. I have to say that I'm really, really happy to be here to celebrate IFAE. And I managed to find a picture of me, it's not too much time ago because I'm still a recent graduate. And this was from a conference in Stockholm. It was EPS HEP that is actually going on right now in Venice. And when I think about IFAE, of course I think about the excellent training that I had, so excellent science, we've heard a lot about it, but most of everything I think about the people and how they have been a scientific role model for me. And this is why I chose this sentence, so maybe more than made me a scientist, is they put me on the right track to be a scientist with big S. Because, yeah, I mean, I don't have yet a big career, so now it's been 3 years that I started transferring all the skills that I learned at IFAE to the research field of theoretical biology. And my personal ambition is basically to become a role model as IFAE scientists have been for me. So the transition from particle physics, because I was working in the Atlas experiment, to biology was very smooth because actually I've been going from LHC to LHC. So I still had to deal with photons and electrons going through something called LHC, but in this case it's a protein complex, is the light harvesting complex, which is involved in the photosynthetic chain. And I mean, actually, to be honest, it was kind of a trauma because at IFAE I got used to certain standards for example, in terms of data. And when you work with biologists, sometimes you get data with no errors. So like there is still a lot of work to do in terms of experimental techniques. And this is actually where physicists are fundamental to that, starting actually going into more into biology. And the research I do today is mostly related to mathematical models for microbial communities. And microbial communities are very important in our planet. They are everywhere. They are in our body, and they are in soil, they are in water. And in particular, I'm at the University of Cologne, part of this cluster of excellence in plant science. And we want to understand what makes bacteria be positive for plants. So the big aim is to solve the problem of food security, food availability, make plants grow better and more resistant to stresses. And the skills that I use every day are really the ones that I learned at IFAE. So thank you again for inviting me, and happy birthday, IFAE, and looking forward the next 25 years and more.